What started out to be a one-of-a-kind necklace, a colorful one-of-a-kind necklace, turned into something completely different by the time I was done making it.
It was a Sunday afternoon, drizzling rain, overcast skies, no sunshine, just gloom. I had nowhere to go on this dreary day. I could chill and watch TV until I am bored, or I could find something to do.
Just to let you know, I did write the song for this video. In fact, it was a few weeks ago on a Sunday, drizzly, rainy day, when I was thinking about what I wanted to make for a jewelry video. And I came up with this idea, but the idea evolved into something a little bit different from what I started out. You see, this necklace that I'm wearing was the inspiration piece for the colors, but I got a little bit crazy with it. Yes, I did. Uh-huh. So, although the video is about making a one-of-a-kind colorful beaded necklace, it turned into something a lot bigger than that. There's a little twist, but make sure you watch all of it, and let's get started. Are you ready to take a look at what we have to work with for this upcycle, this one-of-a-kind upcycle? I have this chunky orange necklace. Some of the beads I may not be able to use. That one looks like it's a little chipped, but that's okay. It's a great one to upcycle. I have this bright yellow necklace, and although I said spring green in my song that I wrote for this video, I might need to work in some aqua green. We'll see about that. And I also have these beautiful crystals, vintage crystals, and a few other beads. Not sure if I'm going to use them, but this is what I have to work with. We're going to need some bead stringing wire. Of course, you will work with whatever necklaces that you have, whatever color scheme that you'd like to work with. I have some 49 strand wire, got my round nose pliers, chain nose pliers if I need them, flat nose pliers, and of course we'll need a clasp. And I also have these three components that look like a sun, like a sunburst. So who knows what we're going to make here today. All I know is we're going to have some fun, start out taking apart the necklaces, see what we have to work with, and get started. Let's take a closer look before I cut it apart. This is one of the necklaces, the orange one. And these are thrifted necklaces. Not sure where I got them. I've had them for a while. And we have this one. So here's the before. I didn't have any tiny little beads in the colors that I wanted to work with. No, the necklaces I had were large, chunky beads. And I believe these are just on bead stringing wires, so let's take them apart. For this necklace, they used a clamshell, and we'll probably do the same thing, but this one is on string, and I, of course, like to work with 49 strand wire, not string. But I'll save this. Might be able to upcycle it. To my surprise, this one is on nylon string. And this one was finished with 2 flattened crimp beads. Just to give you an idea. Probably upcycle that. They look just a little different now, don't they? Just a little. Since this is going to be a chunky beaded necklace, I'm probably going to make it a little bit longer. I'm not sure if I'm adding a pendant to it, not sure about that, but I do want the necklace to be probably about maybe 20 inches long. I'm just going to start with 24 inches of wire. Obviously, it's going to be a multicolored necklace. And I don't know if I'm making 1 strand or 2. That remains to be seen as well. We'll see here. I have a clip on one end of my wire, and oh gosh, I can either slip the beads down to the center to see what it's going to be like around the neckline, or I could start up at one side and work my way down. But I think I better just focus on the center, the front center of the necklace first. And this is my largest bead, and that's what I was saying. I might want to make a pendant, but then again, if it's a really long chunky necklace, I don't really need a pendant. And these are ceramic beads, by the way. When you get something this big and it's got some weight to it, that's ceramic. And I do have some daisy spacers here that I can upcycle. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take the clip off the other end and start working this. Get both ends together here and start working both sides at the same time. Just by adding this little daisy spacer here. Then let's work in some yellow. We have these yellow pearls. Might as well start blending the two necklaces together. And then I said about using green or aqua green. This is a really pretty aqua and yellow green. So add one of these to each end of the necklace. All right, let's go ahead and add another yellow pearl. I don't think I have enough yellow pearls to do the whole necklace. I'll just take a look at it as we go. And what? Okay, so that's our focal point. I have these orange beads, small. You know, I guess I could work in the green, aqua green and the green. Who knows? It might look really nice. I won't know till I try it here. A little bit crazy. You know what? I forgot about these crystals over here. I would like to work a crystal in right at the beginning here. So sorry about that, but I'm going to back off here. I want to work some bling in here. Forgot to do that. So now let's go ahead and add the yellow pearls and the I will tell you this, I have never made a necklace with these colors. Nope, never. But I do wear a lot of pattern tops with a lot of color in them, so that's what I'm thinking. And I find myself already going to these small beads on either side, and yet I said I wanted to make a chunky necklace. Start again. Let's put these away. So I have the largest bead. Well, this is actually the largest bead, but I have this large bead. I don't know though. This one's pretty cool. Has a really cool shape. Start over. Just start over. For the front center bead, I'm between this one here and this one. I think I'm going to go with this one. And these are ceramic beads, so they have a little bit of weight to them. I'm going to upcycle the daisy spacers that were on one of the original necklaces, I guess the orange one. And then let's go ahead and add these round beads that are aqua and kind of a yellow green. And then 2 more daisy spacers. I don't know if I have enough daisy spacers, but we're going to keep going with it and see where we get. And then I do want to work in some of these crystals. They're small, but I like the bling. And then we have some yellow pearls. I don't know, I don't want to get too far into the small beads though. I want to make sure I have the chunky part at the front of the necklace. So I want to perhaps add these yellow beads, which are just plastic. I went ahead and pulled out all the daisy spacers from the original orange necklace. I know, doesn't look like much yet, right? Oh goodness. I'm thinking that I want to go a little asymmetrical with this. Maybe, well, let's just try my idea and we'll see what it looks like. Let's go ahead and pick up this large orange bead, add another daisy spacer, and then let's work in some more orange, but maybe I'll stack 3. These are just plastic rondelles. So, and then maybe go ahead and stack some of these orange beads. There's 3 different shapes on this side. And then this side, maybe we'll work with some of the yellow. Now these are all the same shape. So I'm doing something similar but different. And then let's add a clear crystal just to add a little bit of bling here and there. I'm not going to put a lot of them in here. Now I'm adding in one of the clear crystals. Those are glass. So this is what we have so far. You can see it's starting to be a little different on each side. But gosh, I still want to put larger beads near the front of the necklace. I don't have to use all the beads though. Don't have to. Let's do a yellow and then throw a... You know this is hard for me to do something random like this. I hope I cut enough wire. This is what we have so far, with this being the bottom. I'm going to put a clip on here. Yeah, I think I could have gone longer with this. Maybe 20 inches just isn't enough because I wanted it to be a really long necklace. I'm going to go ahead and get some more wire and I'll go ahead and restring this and then I'll be right back. I want it to be longer. As I'm moving the beads over, I decided that after my center point of orange, I want to keep all the yellow to the left, we'll say the left, and all the orange to the right. That's what we're going to do. So I'm going to work in a couple of extra orange beads here. I'm going back and forth between plastic and ceramics. So this necklace is definitely mixed materials, for sure. Working in some crystals. This is ceramic. I'll add these on and be right back. Let's take a look at what I have so far. This is the bottom bead on the necklace. I added some daisy spacers in here, added a few of these little orange beads in here, and one of the orange bicones. So I'm just mixing things up. And as I said, this is not easy for me. Not at all. I'm going to go ahead and cut my wire off. I have no idea how much wire I have right now, but I will let you know how long the necklace is when we're done here. This side I'm focusing on the yellow, but I'm still going to mix in a little bit of other color, just a little bit. Like, for instance, I think I'll work in one of these orange plastic bicone beads, and then I think I want to work in, well, let's see here. See how we compare here. I think I need to add a few more beads. So, okay, I'm putting a hint of yellow over here. Do I have a plan? No. I am playing. That's what this rainy day upcycle is all about. Just playing. Just seeing here. Maybe need a few more beads. Let's add in another crystal. Okay, I'm going to throw a green bead in here. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Is it going to look nice? I hope so. Have no idea, but I hope so. All right, I want to work in these little sunshine metal looking beads. Little sunburst. And I'm going to put a clip on here so I can push the beads down and around. Wow, I don't have much yellow over here yet, do I? No, I don't. Okay. This is what we do. We play. Daisy spacer. I guess one thing that's important to keep in mind is you don't want it to get too heavy, where one side is a lot heavier than the other side. Let's work in one of these metal beads. And thought about working in three of the metal beads. They're obviously a lot flatter, but something makes me think that 3 of these would look nice. Odd number. One more orange, and then we need to get back to the yellow. These are all different shapes, these yellow beads. Are you still with me? We're early in the video, and I still want to make a bracelet and some earrings, but I know this is a little bit out there. But why not? We can do whatever we want. Okay, I'm going to bring the ends of this wire together and see what we have here. This might end up being the longest necklace I've ever made in my life. I think it's going to be. This is what we have so far. The only thing that I'm seeing here, I would like these to be directly across from there. It's one thing I see, and I'd like to have more color in between. So that means I need to replace these 3 beads right here. Replace them with something. This is a chance to bring in a little more color. They don't have to be exactly across from each other, but this might be a little bit big. I'm going to go with that and then start working in the little sunburst. And I said I wanted to have a little more than just this in between. So let's introduce a little yellow pearl before we add another sunburst. Same thing here. Yellow pearl, the orange bicone. Even though it's plastic, it's still a bicone bead. And then a sunburst. And then I'm going to pick up again with the yellow bead. I know there's a lot of stuff all over the table right now, but give me 1 second here and I'll show you what we have so far. This is what we have so far. There's so much color going on here, but this is what we have so far. I'm wondering if I should have added only 1 of these down here, because the 2 and then the 1 isn't really working for me. So I'm sharing with you what I see after the fact, because you can't always see this until you're working with it. Even if I laid it out on a bead board, I wouldn't necessarily be able to tell that I don't like the 2 together and then the separation. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and add something else in here. So I'm going to keep this one, but I'm going to add a different bead here. Something. Maybe I will bring an orange bead in over here. Maybe. It's pretty big. This is kind of a different bead that was in there. But I don't like the 2 and then the 1. I either want 3 here or just 1 here. So something's got to give. Let me think about it. I'll probably change it up and I'll be right back. There's a lot of twists and turns and tweaks in making this necklace. I really do have a hard time making asymmetrical. It's a lot easier for me if I just have a beaded pattern all the way around. But this video is about making something that's truly one of a kind. And it is. I decided to get a bead mat so that I could lay the beads out on here and not lose my pattern, meaning they really won't fall very far. My bead mat's falling apart. I think it's time for a new one. Goodness sakes, that's embarrassing, but it is quite old. Okay, so I said I wanted something else here. What can I put here? Add this green and aqua, and then the green. I'm going to take this out. Oh my gosh, this is horrible. Time for a new bead mat. I just like this size, and I rarely see this size. Okay, let's just see if we can pick up here. I was going to do it off camera, but I thought, well, you might want to see what I'm doing here. If you're enjoying this video, I really appreciate a thumbs up, a like, and be sure to comment. And if you haven't done so, please subscribe and keep watching because there's more. This is what I have so far for my random, large, chunky, beaded, colorful necklace. I still have quite a bit of wire left that I could work with. I am just going to go to smaller beads and work them around the neck. I'm not going to add any more of the large beads here. Just stick to the small, and then we'll decide what length it's actually going to be. And since I'm just going to add random beads for around the neck, I'm just going to play part of the song that I wrote during this part, and then I'll be back. I'm done with the large beads, so you know what? Let's just set the large beads aside. That will help to not have to mess with them. In fact, let's make some bead soup. Maybe bead soup will help keep me from overthinking it, which I tend to do. And I'll work in some clear crystals too. All right, I think I'm ready just to mix it up.
I had a few hours until dinner I can sit here and do nothing, or I can take advantage of this free time to make something one of a kind. I could hear my jewelry stash just faintly calling my name. I walked down the hall, turned on the light. I stared for a minute at the secondhand jewelry laying in front of me and hanging up elsewhere. I let out a sigh. I don't have time this late in the afternoon to upcycle all that I see. I can choose one or two and then make something new. Make something one of a kind, something never seen before. I can make a new design from this secondhand jewelry, and when I am done, it will truly be one of a kind. What color? What style? I only have a little while. What shall I make? For goodness sake. Still raining outside my window, gray skies and gloomy.
I think I'll stop there on this side. Still working on random. Hardest thing for me to do. Okay, let's keep going here.
I purposely chose bold colors, a bright shade of orange, sunshine yellow, and spring green. I smiled and whispered out loud, these cheerful colors will do. I sat at my table, my jewelry making tools to my side. Measured some bead, string, and wire, added a variety of beads, spacer beads and findings, and finished with a class, no rhyme but with reason. A rainy day reason, I made a beaded bracelet, colorful and cheerful, perfect for spring.
Let's see where we are with things. And I do want to make a bracelet and perhaps some earrings, so I might not be allowing myself enough beads left over. Trying to see how close I am to being centered up on the end here. I think I'm going to remove a couple of beads. This is what I have. Crazy random necklace. I'm going to put a clip on each end and then go hold it up in front of a mirror and see if I like the length. So I'll be right back. When you are making a necklace, it does help to try it on once in a while just to see how the beads fall, to check the length and all that other good stuff. And this one being asymmetrical and large beads, well, it took a few try-ons actually throughout this video, but yeah, let's talk about the next step. Okay, this is what I think. I think that I like the length. Length is good, nice long necklace. But you know how we eliminated one of these yellow beads here? Well, I would like to bring one back in right here. I feel like these three being flat like they are, they're just a little too flat. So I'm going to go back to this and put a yellow bead in here. So it will 1, 2, and then this one be separated a little more. That means I'll have to redo my random here on the end, but that's okay. I don't want to take the time to do this on camera because it's so repetitive, but I will do this off camera and be right back, just like that. How is that for fast? I also put the larger one here and the smaller one at the top. So I am going to call this necklace almost done. We just need to add a clasp. And I said I might go ahead and upcycle one of the clasps that I took off of here. So I've got this. It has a clamshell on it, but I'm going to get a new clamshell. But before I get that new clamshell, let's go ahead and open up this jump ring and take the old one off of here. And again, when I'm completely finished, I'll tell you what length of necklace that we have here. I do have an extension chain and a jump ring here. I'm going to get new clamshells though. I have plenty of these in silver and gold tone. If you need any clamshells, just check my Amazon affiliate link for Avante jewelry. You can find these clamshells. I need a couple of crimp beads. I've got clamshells in here too. 1.3 millimeter. So let's go ahead and work on this end. Let's pick up the clamshell. Put your wire, bead stringing wire, through the back side or the bottom, and then pick up the crimp bead using your flat nose pliers. Just take that crimp bead to the end of the wire, because this is the first one we're putting on here, and flatten it. Check it. It's good. Push the clamshell up and tuck the little crimp bead inside there and fold that up. I'm going to go ahead and take one of the jump rings, put it through the little loops. There's two of them because there's two sides to the clamshell. Put your jump ring through both of those. I'll let this side be the one for the extension chain. So it's got the jump ring and the extension chain. Push our beads down and around. Push them down, down and around. I literally have never made a necklace this long. Be interesting.
I measured some bead string and wire, added a variety of beads, spacer beads and findings, and finished with a clasp. No rhyme, but with reason. A rainy day reason. I made a beaded bracelet, colorful and cheerful, perfect for spring and soon to be summer season.
All right, this time we go through the clamshell from the back side, pick up the crimp bead, but we can't pull it to the end and flatten it. No, we've got to let it drop all the way down, and make sure, this is the time to make sure that all of your beads are pushed down. You still want some flexibility here, okay? You still want the necklace to lay nice and everything. So I don't want it to be too tight, but I do need to let that drop down inside here. This is where I like to use my chain nose pliers because they're narrow, and I can get in here and get a hold of that crimp bead, push it down. Well, maybe. I'm having trouble seeing. I've got a lot of glare on this right now from my lights. Okay, flatten it. Definitely have to check this one really well. It's good. It's not going anywhere. And then cut your wire down as close as you can to the crimp bead. I'm going to use some little scissors. Okay, it's inside of there. Oh, I didn't get as close as I wanted to. No, I did not. Thought I did. You don't want that wire sticking out, so close that up, line up the holes. Here's the lobster clasp with the jump ring that we're upcycling. 2 pairs of pliers, open up the jump ring, slip it through the 2 holes. I say that specifically to slip it through the 2 holes because one time I only slipped it through 1. Yeah. Our necklace, our crazy random beaded rainy day one-of-a-kind necklace in all these bright cheerful colors is done. Oh my gosh. I will try this on before the video is over. I will. I promise. I'll find something to wear it with and try it on. But we do have some beads left, and I did say I'd like to make a quick bracelet, probably a pair of earrings, so let's keep going. I have a piece of bead string and wire. It's not very long, but I don't need it very long to make this bracelet. And wow, that bead is so huge. I don't know. I don't know if I can do that. That's just a little much. So I think I'm going to just go with one of these yellow beads, kind of the puffier of the beads. And I don't have very many daisy spacers left, but I am trying to work with what we have here. I was hoping to work in. It appears that I only have one of these little sunburst beads left, so that's what I'm going to go with. And therefore I'm going to set those larger beads aside. I have a couple of daisy spacers. And then, let's see here, add the orange. I'm going to try to work in as many of the colors as I can that are in the necklace. And let's see here. This bracelet's probably going to be a little more symmetrical. It's just the direction I'm going with it. I can see that already. Just kind of, yeah. Still going to do a variety of beads. Still want to make some earrings, so I have to keep that in mind. I don't know what I'm doing for earrings. Come up with something, but let's see what we can do here. Hope I have enough wire. I don't have any crystals in here. Goodness sakes, we need some crystals. How did I forget those? Because I'm talking. I always say, unless you've tried talking and teaching at the same time of making jewelry, you won't understand how challenging it can be to do both at the same time. For the most part, I do okay, but, you know, just struggling a little here today. Kind of a lazy day.
I whipped up a fun pair of earrings, and before I knew it, I had made 3 pieces of one-of-a-kind jewelry from secondhand thrifted beads. When I was done, I stood up and gazed out my window, mountain views in the distance. Although still gloomy, it no longer mattered. I held in my hands little rays of sunshine, a cheerful necklace, a sunny bracelet, and a fun pair of earrings.
I'm going to stop here and add a lobster clasp. I still have this lobster clasp from the other necklace, so we might as well upcycle this. And we're going to use a couple of crimp beads. I do want a little finishing bead, so I'm going to use one of these silver plated round beads, a tiny one. And let's just go ahead and slip that on here, and we can go through. This is not a closed jump ring. That makes me a little concerned, so I'm going to grab a closed jump ring. A closed jump ring simply means there's no cut in it. That guarantees that the wire cannot slip through the cut in the jump ring. So I'm just putting the wire through the little ring, coming back through the crimp bead, and a few of the beads. I'll come through a couple of them. I'll trim it off here, but I'm just pulling this down, allowing some flexibility for the little ring. And then I'm just going to take my chain nose pliers and flatten that. That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to use a clamshell or anything, but do check it. And then see how many beads you can get through here. You can trim off the wire if you'd like. We can push this down. For this end, we have to attach the lobster clasp, and I can't attach it if I have a closed jump ring. I'll just wire right through the ring on the lobster clasp because it is basically a closed jump ring. It's not going to open. And I'm just going back through a few beads, probably 2 of them. Use your pliers, and you want to get a hold of that wire. Let's start working it through here. Just pull on whatever end you have to tighten that up. You'll figure it out real quick. Now, before I cut this off, I'm going to test this and make sure I can get it on my wrist okay. I can add an extension chain though. That's fine. I can do that. Okay. That's a really good fit. That's going to be great. Okay, I'm going to just push this bead down a little bit, flatten it before you cut the wire. Check it. I think I shook the camera. Check it really good. And then trim this wire down as close as you can to the bead. Okay, got it. Got our bracelet. Here's our little one-of-a-kind bracelet to go with the crazy necklace that I made. Now, how about some earrings? I know you're waiting for those earrings. Let's see if we can make a pair of earrings to go with our crazy, colorful, chunky beaded necklace. In fact, I did make 2 pairs of earrings, but one of them didn't make the video, but I'll show them to you at the end. But let's make some earrings. So I have a couple of head pins. I'm just going to use a couple of small beads at the bottom. Like I said, I wanted to do this in the earrings. I probably have some more downstairs somewhere, but I don't have any here. So right now I'm going to just go with 2 beads that are the same. I'm not doing random. And I want to work in some orange. Wish I had a few more daisy spacers, but let's work in the orange bicone. Make sure they're the same size because these are a little bit different in size. But I want some color. And then I do have some little crystals here. I could put a little crystal on top. I haven't used the bicones in here, but I think that will work. I don't have any yellow though. I do have these yellow pearls. Okay, we're going to go with the pearl because I do have yellow in the necklace. It would be nice though to have some spacer beads in between here. We can work in some bling. How about some rhinestone rondelles? You'll find a link for these too. It's been a while since I said it, but I have 2 different kits with rhinestone rondelles. They're 8mm. Instead of the crystal bead, we'll use the rondelle for a little bit of bling. Honestly, I'm not liking the pearl on top. I'm not. Even though it brings in the yellow, I'm just going to go with that. Crazy, crazy colors.
I whipped up a fun pair of earrings, and before I knew it, I had made 3 pieces of one-of-a-kind jewelry from secondhand thrifted beads. When I was done, I stood up and gazed out my window mountain view.
Couple of ear wires, pushing the beads down, bend it at a right angle. Finally going to use our round nose pliers. I trim it down to about 3/8 of an inch. Some of you have asked me about making my loops. If you want a round loop, this end of the wire has to be in line with the end of your round nose pliers. If you go too far in, you are going to have more of a teardrop. If anything, you need to be flush. Flush with that. Close it up and then roll it backwards is how I do it. And then I take my pliers out and then close it up. That's a pretty good loop. And as I play some more of the song that I wrote for this video, I just want to say one more time, it is a true story. The necklace might have turned out a little bit different than I first envisioned. Obviously it did, but the idea that I wrote in this song is true.
Jewelry I made with joy, with my own hands, and just a little bit of time. What I made on this rainy day was mine and one of a kind. The next time it is rainy or gloomy outside, seek out your jewelry making stash and make something upcycle, something unique. Make some jewelry, a bracelet, a pair of rings, a necklace. Make something that is truly one of a kind, just like you, just like you.
As the song says, it's one of a kind, just like you. And that's what we do here. I don't expect you to have the same beads and findings that I have. Absolutely not. My videos have always been about inspiration. They're about inspiring you to get into your own bead stash, your own thrifted necklaces, secondhand jewelry, and have some fun with it. But this video isn't over yet. I still have a few things up my sleeve. Well, my short sleeves. There's something up there. But first, let's take a look at what we made in this video. Plus, I'll just show you on camera here the extra pair of earrings that I made for it. And I invite you to vote for your favorite piece, the necklace, the bracelet, the earrings, and there's a little twist coming up. Yeah, I put on the necklace and showed it to my husband, Mark, and his response caught me off guard, but then my response caught him off guard. But with that said, it's still a true story of what I wrote in the next song. Yeah, I wrote another song for this video. I'm having fun doing that. But let's take a look at the jewelry. Here's the other pair of earrings that I made. I thought the necklace deserves some chunky beaded earrings, very lightweight because these are plastic beads. So this is the other pair, and I will be listing this set in our eBay store for Avante Avenue. I'll put a QR code up here, and the link can be found in the description below the video. But I've got a little something else up my sleeve, and I hope you'll join me. I'm going to show you the necklace on the display, but I am going to try it on for you. I think you really need to see this necklace on, but here it is. Oh my gosh, this is the bead that I originally planned for the center, but I found if you just turn it slightly, these even up just a little more here. But crazy set, hope it's focusing. Crazy colorful beaded necklace set with a bracelet and another pair of earrings. And now I need to try it on. Here's the necklace, the crazy, colorful, beaded cruise necklace, because you see when I showed the necklace to Mark, things went a different direction. And this chunky beaded necklace became a one-of-a-kind, colorful, chunky cruise necklace. This is where I'd like to invite you to join me.
Crazy colorful cruise necklace, perfect for you. I made a colorful necklace, crazy colors and chunky beads. I tried it on and my husband looked at me. It's different, he said, as I played with the beads. I spun around and he said to me, where are you going to wear that set? The bright, one-of-a-kind necklace, bracelet and earring set. I replied, on a cruise or a trip to Cancun or the Bahamas, dinner overlooking the ocean while watching the sunset, then dancing reggae style to the rising moon. He said, who is paying for this trip? Crazy colorful cruise necklace, perfect for you. I laughed and said, you, it's a cruise kind of necklace, this crazy colorful cruise necklace could be perfect for you and your cruise and your